What is up, mages? It is I, your wintry neighborhood Winterspelll. I welcome you back to another episode of Lord of Skyrim. So today we're going to start out what I mentioned before. There are two sides to the Dawnguard quest line. Richard is going to become a vampire. Richard being our Lord of Skyrim character, the mage. Now this here is Abram. Nord. It's his boy Mercutio, by the way, or Mercurio. He is a two-handed Nord, uses an axe the moment he's got Soon's judgment there, and he is wearing the insulated dragon armor from the Bones from a Crow quest. He's got a few things he needs to sell, obviously. Oh, cool, I got two different smithings. So Abram is going to be handling our vampire hunter side of this quest. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the quests episode by episode, where we'll have one character do the quest, then have another character do the quest, and just keep going like this until we have finished up Dawnguard. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. This parallel thing is the first. As the Epic Nate would say, let's do further. And hello, Kiva, I hope you're doing fantastic this morning. So let's start heading up into the castle. Hey. For those wondering about Mercurio, he is a destruction and restoration user. And you can meet him at the Bee and Barb in Riften and hire him for 500 gold.
Hey, so, before we go in there... I think so. And thanks for asking.
We're also going to be very careful about the...
But after we get in there...
dialogue we choose.
I think. I know your friends would probably want to kill...
I apologize. We're going to be careful about the dialogue that we choose when dealing with Serena, or Serana, because there will be something that we can do after the quest line is done. We'll have the chance to turn Serana back to a human from a vampire. So I want to make sure I'm very friendly with her so that she'll choose to be human again.
Lord Harkin's a great man.
It has no difference on anything that happens, but story-wise, it's something I appreciate. And I like the idea of, especially as we learn Serana's story, I like the idea of her finally being able to be at peace, to be out of the control of Molag Bal, because he is the Lord of Vampires. And I want Serana to have a good life.
How dare you?
Because she is pretty cool.
Wait, Serana? Is that truly you? I cannot believe my eyes.
By the way, Vingalmo, he actually is mentioned in an in-game book. I can't remember which one. He apparently was a famous scholar before he became a vampire.
I can't believe it.
So while we're here, we're going to take these potions of blood, because right now it's not considered stealing.
Returns at last.
But it would be once we join the vampires.
After all these years, that's the first...
So the potions of blood are something that was introduced in the Dawnguard, and it's actually a really important item if you choose to be a vampire. So it heals 100 points of health for a vampire, and it counts... It counts as feeding on blood. Because you may remember that if a vampire goes too long without feeding in Skyrim, the townsfolk start acting more hostile towards them, and if you become like a blood-starved vampire, they won't even let you in town. They'll attack you on sight. So potions of blood, if you can't get... Oop, I accidentally drank one. If you can't get to someone to feed, or if you find it distasteful, all puns intended, you can just take the potions of blood.
You ask me?
And Harkon, I think, does not give an overprotective father vibe.
To see you, my daughter.
Honestly, he
Must I really
gives...
say the
To me,
words
he
aloud?
always gave the vibe
if only your
of
traitor
my
mother
child
were
is
here,
my tool.
I would let her watch
Even
this
from the
reunion
beginning, before I knew any of the
putting her
story.
head on a spike. Now tell me, who is this stranger you have
I'm
brought
sexy,
into
that's what
our
I am,
hall?
Harky.
This is my savior, the one who freed me.
For my daughter's safe return, you have my gratitude. Tell me, what is your name?
You want to know my name? Well, you know, you should know the name of your killer.
I am Harkon, Lord of this court. By now, my daughter would have told you what we are.
I mean, you're a bastard.
Not just vampires.
Honestly,
We
yeah,
are
they
among
chose a
the
great
oldest
voice
and
actor
most
for him.
powerful vampires in Skyrim. For centuries we lived here, far from the cares
Also,
of the
cool
world.
thing.
All that ended
Later,
when
we
my
get
wife
access to
betrayed me
Harkon's
and
room
stole
if we choose a
away that
vampire,
which I valued
and you'll
most.
notice that one of the flags hanging up in the room
You
is the
have
Mythic
done me
Dawn
a great
flag,
service,
the
and now you must
antagonist
be
of Elder Scrolls
rewarded.
IV Oblivion,
There is but one
a
gift
cult
I
of
can
Mehrunes
give that is
Dagon.
equal in
Since
value to the
vampires
Elder
are the
Scrolls
spawn
and my
of
daughter,
Molag Bal,
I
the
offer
Prince
you
of
my
Domination,
blood. Take it and you will walk
they
as a lion
do not
on a
like
shield.
Mehrunes
Men will
Dagon.
tremble at your approach,
Dagon
and you
is
will
one
never
of
fear
Bal's
death
rivals.
again.
So the flag was probably there
Then
because
you will be
Harkon
prey,
actually may
like
have
all mortals.
participated in
I
the
will spare
Oblivion
your life
Crisis
this once,
and
but you will
fought
be banished
against the
from
Mythic
this
Dawn.
hall. Perhaps
So quite
you
honestly,
still
given
need
his age
convincing.
and his allegiances,
Behold the
I really
power.
think that he probably fought against the Mythic Dawn in Skyrim.
In the power that I offer. Now, make your choice.
I know, Kiva, right? I will not
So
become a
be
vampire.
it. You are prey, like all mortals.
Yes,
I
sir.
banish you.
Bye, dude. Yeah, I was so mad when Serana was not an option. Because I absolutely wanted her to be an option. I loved her. Because she is, like... She is the most responsive NPC. And she's so cool. So I was really sad she wasn't a marriage option. So you can see I've been a lot of places. Still have not been to Morthal, Winterhold in this playthrough, which I find funny. So let's take a look at the specs of Abram, just to get you guys familiar with him. Like I said, he is a two-handed warrior. I focused on axes for him. He's level 52. I was using the destruction method. So his main skills we're working on is enchanting, smithing, heavy armor, two-handed. We are using archery, and that's about it. Although I was taking some speech because merchant perk. I know, Bethesda, I mean, they gave us something beautiful and they won't let us put it in our house. But I'm glad she gets to continue being a follower, and I'm glad we get to cure her vampirism. So we're using the crossbow for this playthrough. So this guy is the exact opposite of Richard, and I did that on purpose because I thought that would add a nice contrast. So I love this spot in the Dawnguard Sanctuary. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love waterfalls. I love how they recreated the sound of the waterfall. It's just so beautiful. Oh, so good news. I did hear, and I don't know if this is confirmed, but I hope to God it is. that they are finally remastering Oblivion and Fallout 3. So I'm really hoping they're going to release it on the PS4 so I can stream those for you guys. Or at the very least, I hope they put it on the Switch so I can play it myself. Because I really want a Fallout game on my Switch, and I really want Oblivion on my Switch. Because Oblivion is such an amazing game. Oh god, the quests in it, the story, the world building. Oh, I love it so much. Oblivion is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. Quite honestly, although Skyrim does beat out Oblivion in my list, my top 3 RPG games are easily Skyrim, Oblivion, and Fallout 4. Like, just hands down. Fallout 3 falling into that 4th slot. So it really just was so much. And like I said, the reason I keep around... Well, one of the reasons I keep around my Xbox 360, even though I only have 2 games for it, is I keep it for Oblivion and Fallout 3. I've also got Morrowind on there, and I've got Duels of the Planeswalkers 2014 and 2015. So I keep it for that. Because I absolutely love those games. And I actually just beat Oblivion the other day.
Over here.
Well, you're doing a lot. Hey. Come back here. Let me cool you down, brother. Taking that, taking that, taking that, taking that. Ooh, I'm definitely taking that.
See you in pieces.
Right off, I suppose.
Need something?
Easteron!
Look at this. I should have known it was only a... Of course. Why did I suppose differently? Fine. Tell me what you know.
Honestly, yeah, it really was.
A woman? Trapped in there? That doesn't make any sense. Who is she? More importantly, where is she?
Well, I brought her home.
I'm waiting to hear what any of this means.
Oh yeah, the vampires have an Elder
They
Scroll.
what? And you didn't stop them? You didn't secure
What did
the
you
scroll?
want me to do? Look, here's the thing. Story-wise, it makes sense that we did not go and fight every single person. But let's also be honest. As the player character, we probably could have taken out the entire castle without much issue. And the Dragonborn is stronger than the average person, so...
So they have everything they wanted, and we're left with nothing. By the Divines. This couldn't get much worse. This is more than you and I can handle. Well, of course we do. I'm old, not stupid.
I'm old and
We're
stupid.
just going to need some help. If they're bold enough to attack us here, then this may be bigger than I thought. I have good men here. There are people I've met and worked with over the years.
So at this point, we are now fully on the
talents.
side of Dawnguard. We cannot go back and be a vampire.
If
Although
you
I will
can
tell
find
you,
them,
we aren't allowed to
we
do
might
any
have a
Dawnguard
chance.
quests if we become a vampire.
Right to the point,
And
aren't
there
you?
is a way for us to be cured, though.
Not like those fools in the Order. We should
Either
keep
by
it
becoming a
small.
werewolf,
Too many people and we'll draw
or
unwanted attention
by
to ourselves. I think
going
we'll
to
want
see
Serene
Thalion
Gerard,
in
Brenda
Morthal.
Girl,
He can
smart
cure
woman,
vampirism.
tinkering, fascination with the Dwemer, weapons in particular. Last I knew, she was out in the Reach, convinced she was about to find the biggest dwarven ruins yet. Might need a little convincing, but she should. You'll also want to find Gunmar. Big brute of a Nord. Hates vampires almost as much as I do.
Big brute of a Nord.
Got it into his head years back that his experience with animals would help. Trolls in particular, from what I hear. Last I knew, he was out scouring Skyrim for more beasts to tame. Bring the two of them back here, and we can get started on coming up with a plan.
Alright. He can also train us in heavy
just
armor.
Smart enough to want to learn more. I'll show you what I can.
Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, you were watching Fudge Muppet. Good. Were you watching them before I told you about them, or are you watching them new? Put in more fortifications in the castle. I like this spot. It's cool. Alright, so we got to go find Gunmar and Serene. And then later we will get another guy who's going to be very interesting. So after recruiting these guys, we also do gain access to spells that are exclusive to the Dawnguard content and to the Dawnguard itself, and I love these spells. So yes, Fudge Muppet is really cool. Also, check out their sister channel, Drumora. Drew from Fudge Muppet made his own channel, more focused on the Daedra and such. And he's really cool. He's got a great voice. So the channels that I watch are, of course, Epic Nate 315, Fudge Muppet, Drumora. Camelworks has some really cool investigative videos. He's got like a 4-hour video on a murder that happened in Iverstead. You may remember Iverstead over here. You might remember Narfi. He is a Dark Brotherhood contract. He's the insane beggar that lives there. And his sister was murdered, and that's when he went off the deep end. Or his sister disappeared, sorry. But we actually find her body in the river. So Camelworks actually did like a 4-hour video on who actually murdered her, the different evidence for it and things like that, and where she must have been killed to make her body end up in that river. It was really interesting. Honestly, it was 4 hours well spent for me. I loved it. It was just awesome. And his conclusion really did make sense to me. I've also started watching Master Naloth lately. And there was like a Dark Lord lore rush I was watching. There's just a lot of really cool videos, and I really enjoy lore videos. Honestly, yeah, they did a few great videos on Mirak. They did some great videos on the Dragon Priests. Honestly, they also got some great videos on some like Forgotten Gods and Daedra, and it's really cool. So definitely check out their videos, enjoy the hell out of them, because I sure have. And it's just going to be awesome. So let's see where these guys are. So he actually... Gunmar's over here at Crystal Drift. Okay. He's close by. Gunmar. There you are.
There's a
Hey,
cave
man.
here. Think we should check it out?
You there! Hold fast! I've tracked this damned bear for 2 weeks. I'll not let it have any more victims. Isran needing someone else's help. Never
Hey,
thought
no
I'd do
problem,
that.
Kiva.
I'm
I
afraid he's a
love
few years
sending
too late.
people to really
I've moved
cool
on. I have more important business
I
to
love
attend to.
sending people to cool channels I find,
Besides, you
especially
can
if they are
handle anything
lovers
alone.
of
He assured me so
Skyrim, Elder
himself.
Scrolls, and Fallout
Could he
lore.
possibly need my help with?
Absolutely fantastic. You'll also find Fudge Muppet has
Vampires.
videos on
That's-
different Skyrim
well,
builds you can
that might
make,
change things.
and I'm loving
Tell
it.
me more about what's going on.
Their videos on
Bloody
Kim
hits.
are like really interesting,
All right,
and the
look,
different things
I'll
that
consider it.
they've said about the
I can't just
gods
leave
in the
this bear
videos
to
on
prey on more
Lorcon.
innocent people.
Honestly, it's
Once
so
it's dealt
cool.
with, then perhaps
Check it
I'll see
out.
what Isran
I can't get
expects of me.
enough. Yeah.
Of course he did. He's been working his own little fortress. I'll meet you there.
Oh, I need to find Amber and Madness ore for this. Maybe there's some around. New. I think this is the Creation Club thing to give me, Madness and Amber armor. Might do that. This is a cool little place. Just randomly cooking carrots.